Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com, the software and services company that helps nonprofits raise more money more efficiently.
These supporters can give to any one of 43,000 organizations to get the job done, so to speak. Which one is going to make the donor feel good about it?
Hi there, welcome to Engagement Fundraising. I'm Tim Chen, Marketing Solutionist at MarketSmart. On today's show, Greg dives into the 7 principles of engagement fundraising. Not sure what engagement fundraising is? Well, you will soon. Welcome to Engagement Fundraising. I'm here today with Greg Warner. I want to dive into, the show topic, and that is the show itself. What is engagement fundraising?
Engagement fundraising is everything that we're about. So engagement fundraising really has 7 underlying principles. So the 7 principles are: major donors don't give to satisfy an organization's or even a beneficiary's needs. And I mean, when I say a beneficiary, I mean somebody who may need clean water. It would be likely for us to believe that they are giving to satisfy that person's needs, but that's not really it. They give to satisfy their own needs. So that's number 1.
So the nonprofit working through the person, they were heavily involved in music, so they want future generations to have instruments to play because it was something that personally touched them as a child, something like that.
That's right. In that first principle, one would believe that people give major gifts for altruistic reasons, but that's not really it. There's no true pure altruism if they at all feel good by giving. The truth of the matter is that they're giving to satisfy their own needs, even if that is simply to make themselves feel good in one way or another.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2 is that major donors that have money in their pocket, and when I say major donors, by the way, that includes legacy supporters, because these folks, many of whom simply cannot make a major gift during their lifetime, but their legacy gift is a major gift, usually. It's probably the biggest gift that they'll ever make. It's unfortunate that they won't see it accepted during their lifetime. But major donors, including legacy donors, are looking for a partner to help them satisfy their needs. And it has to be a partner that they can trust. This is very much why you see retention rates so poor for nonprofits.
Both small scale and major donors.
Yeah. People are jumping around from charity to charity because they're not having their needs met. If they were, why would they leave?
No, they wouldn't. I mean, they'd probably volunteering with them and being really heavily involved, stay connected to that community.
Yep. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is that major donors yearn for an organization that will give them an opportunity to help change the world and make an impact. They want that organization to present themselves to the major donor and say, you know what? You can be a hero in your own lifetime or after your lifetime. And in your own mind, you can be the hero, or you can be remembered for all time. We are that vehicle through which you can realize your dreams and find meaning in your life.
So these will be the bricks that have your name in it, those kind of campaigns that memorialize a person.
Sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's permanent in that regard. And also that dovetails into a need that some people need fulfilled, which is a need for notoriety or permanence. But that only applies to some people. So the answer to your question is sometimes. Whether they give because they want that kind of notoriety or permanence, or for other reasons, The bottom line is that they yearn for an organization to give them that opportunity to feel good. Number 4 in the 7 principles is that major donors want to give through an organization, not to an organization. So they're giving to make some type of impact and to realize some kind of change in the world, to make the world a better place. Now, it's interesting because I was talking to an organization that serves retired veterans just a couple weeks ago. And the CEO of that organization said to me that he had a study done by a consultant, and they figured out that there's 43,000 organizations that serve a similar function to help veterans.
How do you choose? That's the question, right?
So what that proves is these supporters can give to any one of 43,000 organizations to get the job done, so to speak. The question for the donor is which one's going to do it best
and meet their own mission within that subsect, that niche maybe of, are they caring for veterans in X way?
Mm-hmm.
There's different ways you can go about that.
So one is which organization is going to do it in the way that meets the needs of the donor and the desires for the donor to make impact in this world. But the next is which will do it efficiently. But C, which is very, very important, is which one is going to make the donor feel good about it.
You're able to talk to human beings when you call them up or email, and it's more personalized.
Yeah, and which one is going to report back to me what they did with my money? Which one is going to give me an opportunity to get my feet on the ground and meet people and get involved? Which one is going to be fair and transparent? Which one is not going to get embroiled in some kind of controversy where the CFO gets caught, for instance, stealing money? These are the things that supporters are thinking about. They want to give through the organization to make a meaningful impact. They're not giving to the organization, but your brand will be enhanced if you are doing things right, being fair, being transparent over a long period of time. Then your brand will be recognized, and you might start to believe that they're giving to your organization. As you become a success, your own success can lead to your own failure, because then you start to believe that people are giving to your organization, but they're really not. They're just giving through your organization.
So as the mechanism to do what they want to do, and since there's 43,000 of them, your name is almost inconsequential, the mission that they're helping you achieve.
And donors can be easily fickle.
It's easy to turn off a donor. You send them a wrong letter in the mail that's kind of insulting. It's like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
right?
like this is a topic maybe for a whole other podcast, but giving is like using an app on your iPhone.
It's very precious real estate, that home screen, and they can be deleted really easily and replaced with something else.
That's right.
That does, because it's 50,000 note-taking apps.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You don't like your note-taking app, they're not treating you well, it keeps crashing. Well, guess what? Delete, and then you just replace it with another note-taking app. It's not a problem. No. Okay. Number 5, major donors, they really want the organization and its staff to facilitate the process of their giving. The giving process is not as easy as it should be. And the organization, just like software or apps, organization that reduces friction and greases the skids and makes it easy for people to become involved, become educated, become informed, be allowed to evaluate the impact, and so on. The organization that facilitates all of that and makes it convenient and easy and a valuable experience, and most of all, pleasurable. The organization that figures out how to make donors feel good so that giving enhances their life and helps them find meaning in their own life and facilitates the process for all of that is going to be the winner.
And with major giving, is that the same? It's a different experience, is it, than the populism giving?
Yes and no. So let's differentiate for a second principal giving, which is really at the very top pinnacle of the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say those are the biggest gifts. Major giving, and look, definitions are going to vary according to who you talk to and which consultants you talk to. And every organization has different levels of what a major gift might be.
Yeah, it's major to them because it impacts them in a major way versus others. That'd be like a little chunk of change.
Exactly. And it also could be a planned gift. In the past, it was that principal gifts and, in fact, major gifts were done pretty much face-to-face with one-to-one meetings, and there was discussion, and then the gift officer or the executive director would, quote-unquote, close the gift. They would facilitate the process. But more and more, technology, just like it is creeping into all of our worlds, more and more technology is being used to enable and facilitate the process for major giving. For instance, the dramatic increase in funding going into donor-advised funds now makes it very convenient and easy for supporters to give away their money, even though they haven't actually given it to the end user, so to speak, because they can sell $100,000 or $500,000 of stock on Fidelity.com. They can, with the click of a button, sell that stock. They can give it to a donor-advised fund, which then they can transfer that money, again online, to a charity. That is a very good example of how technology can facilitate the process of major giving, especially online. And it's only going to happen more and more and more as technologies get developed and become more ubiquitous.
Yeah, and easier to use, and you don't need a stockbroker anymore. You just do it online if you want.
Yeah, so in that case, in fact, the donor can remain anonymous. They don't need a stockbroker to sell their stock. And they don't need a fundraiser. I hope I don't break anybody's heart, but they don't need a fundraiser to facilitate the process. Everything can be done online. The question is, how is the organization and how are the fundraisers supporting and enabling that process so that it happens more?
Yeah, how is this nonprofit being discovered by this person and being pulled in to make that gift, right?
Right.
Guess who we got to sponsor this episode? Well, nobody. So here's some info about our free fundraising report card. This episode is brought to you by fundraisingreportcard.com. Simple fundraising analytics for nonprofits. Enhance your fundraising today with effortless, easy, and free-to-use analytics and charts. Get started by going to fundraisingreportcard.com. Now let's get back to the 7 core principles of engagement fundraising.
Number 6 in the principles is the fact that major donors want to be heard and involved, and they don't want to be treated like a bank or an ATM machine. So what this means is that nonprofits need to open up the avenues for dialogue. It's very rare that you'll go to a nonprofit website and see a chat box pop up whereby somebody at the other end of the chat tool starts typing. It says, "Hey, I'm here if you'd like to chat or if you have any questions." But the last time I was looking at software online, I had that happen instantly, and it completely facilitated the process for me because I did have questions, and then I created the dialogue, and then next thing you know, I set up a demonstration. So why is it that nonprofits wouldn't encourage that? Well, frankly, I don't entirely recommend that they do that for everybody, but I do recommend that they do that on pages that are specifically geared towards major donors, because you really can only put the people power in place for major gifts. It'll cost too much.
Yeah, the resources wouldn't allow for everybody. A lot of for-profit businesses do that online. It was kind of funny. There was a live chat software solution I was looking at, and this live chat software solution required you to email in to learn more about it. It was, not a good, not a good experience.
Fail.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 7 of the 7 principles is that major donors want to be engaged in a partnership. They don't want to be engaged in a solicitation. So this goes back to my old days in sales. One of the first things I ever learned is that people love to buy, but they don't ever want to be sold. So similarly, nobody ever wants to be solicited, but they do want to be involved and engaged in a partnership. And this also dovetails with surveys. And of course, I'm a big proponent of donor surveys, but it was also told to me when I first got into fundraising marketing, if you ask people for advice, you get money. And if you ask for money, you get advice. So what that means is that people want to be engaged in a conversation about how they can change the world and make an impact. If you engage them in that partnership and present options to them about how they can find meaning in their life and feel good, your likelihood for success will increase exponentially.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode where we'll be going over the 8 core components of engagement fundraising. If you like the ideas in this episode, make sure to check out the Smart Ideas blog at imarketsmart.com/smartideas. We'll be back next Thursday for a brand new episode.